Hey, vinyl community, Jeff here again. Let's talk Christian rock and metal, hard rock, things along that line. These are the bands that people would throw into the category of, the Christian rock and metal attitude. First up is one that actually just came in the mail just this week. Brand new reissue on vinyl for the first time, and they only made 85 of them, and I was lucky enough to grab one. The Moshketeers Downward Spiral. Now, this was a band released cassette in 92. Then in 2010, Rox Records put it out on CD, remastered, with the beautiful new artwork. Included, if you bought this certain version, they had a second disc that had some of the band's material prior to this. That was like a bonus disc, which was really cool. So we pretty much had it all. Great stuff, great stuff. And then all of a sudden, hey, we put out a handful of these on vinyl. Who wants one? And you know me, I grabbed one. And it just came in this week. Sounds great. It's on black. Just quick thing. Got the collage and the lyrics. A la Scott Waters. And yes, I'm just like, great. So this was a quick one. Thrash, 90s thrash, early classic thrash. I'm just right in that sweet spot of thrash that I like. So love that album. Now here's one. This actually I believe I showed the CD months ago. And with everything else, vinyl has been held up forever and ever and ever. I actually, I think I crowdfunded this album for vinyl only. And then when they got all the CDs in, I guess the band was like, well, the vinyl is going to be postponed for months. So they sent everybody a CD. The Brave, Evie's Little Garden. So I've had the CD for a while. I even wrote the band. I'm like, I didn't see the note that they were doing that. And so I wrote the band and like, do you mean to send me the CD? I ordered the vinyl. Oh, yeah. I said, I just didn't want you to send me something I didn't have. Because they already sent us the digital tracks, when they were done. Oh, no, we sent that to you. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll take it. This finally came in. I'm going to tell you what, so The Brave released an album in 92, Battle Cries. I would have to say, at that time, look at some beautiful red. That is a stellar high watermark album for me for the early 90s. It was just, I remember having that album, telling all my friends, and you have to hear this album. It was just right in the sweet spot. John and Dino Elefante, Pachyderm Records. So you got amazing production, background vocals, big power, anthems. It was right in that sweet spot of 80s hard rock with the metallic edge. Love that album. A couple years later, they released another album. Back in the day, I don't recall ever having that. And then later, I picked it up. And it was a little different. And so that was where I kind of lost track of the band. It turns out somewhere like, 10 years later, and in the mid-2000s, they released another album, which honestly I've never heard. I don't know. I just have never seen a copy of it. And then again, you go away for quite a while, and then in 2021, the band is back. And I'm telling you right here, this is a return to the first album. This is just up there. Production, sound, songwriting. It is just a stellar, one of those, hard rocking, metallic edged, commercial feeling, hard rock album. And they got a new one coming. I'm glad to see they're coming back together, do this stuff. So I was like, this album, is just artwork and all. It's just an amazing project. And if you're into, you're like, Christian rock, Christian metal. Okay, I mean, bands like this nowadays, I mean, they're, Evie's Little Garden, obviously, Eve, the garden. There are spiritual overtones, spiritual stories built into it, but, it's no different than regular music. It's not like these songs are Jesus, 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 and preachy, preachy, preachy. They're just, they're written in metaphors and just life songs. And so really, I hope that wouldn't, turn you off. There were two bonus tracks, two other tracks on the CD that don't fit on the album that you do get as a digital download. Just go online and check out a video from this album. If you're into this style of music, regardless of what you think lyrically. So Here's another one. The band actually, back when their first album came out, I said I was going to review it for the magazine, and I reviewed it for the magazine, for Heaven's Metal magazine, and I said, this album is just breathtakingly heavy, and just not heavy in the sense, it's not like death metal. It was like sludgy, almost doom at times, but very commercial as far as very melodic vocal-wise. I love the vocals. I've heard him before, and I just was oozing over this album, and I thought this album would sound amazing with the bottom end dropping out on a vinyl release, which the band, I guess, had decided they were going to do a vinyl release of. The band contacted me, thanked me for my review, and said, give me your address. We're going to send you a copy of the album on vinyl. And they did, and that was, and it was great. I love this album. So then, behold, the band puts out a second album, and they contacted me on Facebook and said, hey, Jeff, by the way, the vinyl is going to be available through Amazon if you want to buy one. So I went on there and ordered it, and Amazon said, you should have this by the first week in September 2021. I got it about 2 weeks ago. All for the King, their second album, Let There Be Light. Again, it is very much like the first album. Mid-paced, sludgy, at times. I use doom very loosely only because of the speed. The vocals are melodic. They're not in the doom category at all, but musically it's got that really heavy bottom end feel, intense. Anyway, just right up there with the first album, and I just was like, yes. But anyway, yeah, it turns out, with the whole holdup of everything, it took a long time for the albums to finally come out and for Amazon to get them. But it was just funny because I guess they were kind of out, but Amazon said, you should have it by next week. But I guess they didn't get stock in now for 6 months. But whatever, I'd almost forgot about it. And then all of a sudden, it came in. And I am appreciative. It's on black. And check these guys out. They're from, where are they from? Sweden or something. They're an overseas band. And I rarely met a band from over there that I don't like. They just got that beautiful sound. Go online. All for the King. Yes, lyrically, these are going to be a little more in your face. But again, it's not very preachy. The six-winged seraphim. Let there be light. I am he, the way, the truth. Definitely more, metal gods. Let there be God. Let God be God. These guys lyrically are going to be more obviously Christian, but they do it so well. And another one that I ordered from Amazon many, many months ago. Again, I don't know if it was out or it took time to get out, but it finally came in. War of Ages, their brand new album, Rima. This is one of the few new metal, metalcore bands, kind of screamo, that I have just loved over the years. Saw him in concert, met Oscar the singer, backstage, just was great. And there's only a couple of their things I haven't been able to find on vinyl yet, but I've got the majority. This is brand new. It's only an EP. It's on a smoky, and one side is etched, if you can kind of see that. So it's got the 4 songs on one side and then etched on the other. It's got the lyrics and everything. So they sound great. Sound is, as great as usual. Love the artwork as usual. And yes, I ordered this many months ago when it was listed as coming out. And like I said, I don't know if it was just a hold up on the vinyl or hold up from Amazon, but all of a sudden I kind of forgot about it. And all of a sudden, like, hey, we're sending you your package. Now, this one I've had for a couple months, and I showed the vinyl reissue months ago. And then, so what it is, this is Deliverance, Camelot and Smithereens redo. This is the Camelot 20, the re-recorded, remastered, all of that. I ordered the vinyl, and the vinyl record came in before the CDs came in, and so they shipped all those out. So that's how we saw that. But back when this came out as a crowdfunder, and I funded it years ago, it's been a big, long process. I didn't crowdfund the vinyl. There wasn't a vinyl crowdfunding. I crowdfunded the CD with the booklet and everything. And anyway, this is a 4-set. It's got the re-recording of the album, which has been totally re-recorded the way it should be. It's got the remastered edition of the original album from the 90s, just remastered, which I also picked up on vinyl, which I've also shown. It's got a DVD of this, regarding it. And then it's got a booklet of explaining the story. It's a concept album. It's kind of like the Deliverance version of, we usually loosely use the term the Operation Mindcrime of Deliverance. It's kind of along that storyline. Anyway, so this came in weeks and weeks and weeks ago. I kept forgetting to show it, mainly because I crowdfunded the edition with the book, and so the book came in. Now, part of that came out with that was also a poster, and this was the poster. And then at the bottom, it has thank you to the sponsors, and my name is listed in there as one of the sponsors who crowdfunded and paid for this level. And as you can see, I've got number 3 of 100. So there were 100 of these made, and I got number 3. So I wanted to show that. Last but not least, a magazine, G-Zine. This is a guy, Noah, out of Texas. Now, I saw this online. I ran across him, I think, on TikTok, I believe. TikTok, official.gzine. You can go find him, check him out there. And I saw some of the pages and stuff, and it just reminded me so much. A friend of mine, I did magazines back in the 80s and early 90s, which I've shown. And a friend of mine did one too, and it was very much like this. It was handmade. He would cut things out. He would type things on the dot matrix printer, cut them out, arrange them on the page with graphics and things he cut out. Everything was cut out, taped, and then photocopied. And I saw the pages of this, and I couldn't help but think, this is exactly like my friend used to make it. Noah draws a lot of the artwork, and you could tell the clippings, are surrounded by artwork, and they're just, laid out. This takes a lot of time and effort, because this is, and this is just like, I know a lot of underground designs like this are made like this. So it's a throwback to that. It just reminded me of that, and so he sent me a copy, and I wanted to show everybody. It's just, it's got news, it's got some music stuff. There's a couple, it's got puzzles and QR codes and comics, and it's got some color in there too. He's done a couple color pages. It's got a color ad from like Gerda Music and their music that they've released. Yeah, some of the Legends of Rock flyers. Cartoons, drawings, artwork, sayings, poems, music. It's got all kinds of stuff. G-Zine, God's Magazine, Maguhsi. And you can find him on official G-Zine on TikTok, and you can find him on email, gods.magazine@gmail. Anyway, so yeah, just fun stuff. And this is actually issue number 2. I haven't seen issue number 1. I probably saw some of it on there, and you can see it's just pages and they're stapled together, homemade, but very, very cool. The time and effort put into this kind of work just shows the passion that is there. And I just really appreciate that. And this is great to see people putting things in print again, because print is, disappearing so quick. Anyway, I will stop it at that. Just check out some of that stuff. Check out some of this music. Great stuff. And I will be back with more. And I thank you so much for watching. Rock on and rock hard.